Hey guys, this week we are doing decimal place value and converting decimals to fractions and creating picture models based on what we have seen based on the decimal. But before we can do that, we really have to learn about decimal place value. So, when we're reading a number, we have to know that the whole number is on the left side of the decimal. So this is your whole number. That means that there's no parts of it at all. So if I was reading this, I would say 43. It's a whole number. But when we get to the right side of the decimal mark, which looks like a period or a dot, but it's a decimal, then we start having more place values. This would be ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, 100,000s, millions, 10 millions, 100 millions. And it just keeps going this way. Decimals work in the same way. So, we have tenths, hundreds, and I'm going to go ahead and put a number there so you can remember thousands, but we're not going to really be diving into the thousands world this week. We're going to be focusing on the tenths and the hundreds. The tenths come first, and then the hundreds. So, if there is only one number, so let's break this down a little bit more. If there's only one number, then we would say the place value that it's in, tenths, because there's nothing else. So 43 and 2 tenths, okay? But if the place value had that 5 there, we would read it as these two got married. The last place value is the place value you say. So the last place value here is in the tenths place, so that's why we say tenths. The last place value here is in the hundredths place. So if I was to read this number, it would be 43 and 25 hundredths, because hundredths is the last place value. Now let's try it by adding that last 7. So on the decimal side of our numbers, our digits, the last value here is thousands. So you would say 43 and 257, they kind of all merge together, thousands, because thousands is the last place value. So what I want us to do in this video is just to practice saying or reading the decimals, and then say it to yourself. If you need to pause it, you can. And now let's see if you're right. 35 and the last digit here is 6. So 35 and 6 tenths. Okay? Now let's try another one. Look at it. Try to say it to yourself. And now let's see if you're right. 29 and 153 thousandths. That's the last digit, thousandths. Okay? Let's try 2 more. Hopefully you said, and if you're not ready, just pause. Hopefully you said, though, 43 and 26 hundredths. Make sure you put the TH on the end, hundredths. Okay? And let's try one more. Okay? Let's see. 194, and 35 hundredths. Now, the reason why it's important to pay attention to the number, the last digit, is because of the number 0. So let's look at some where the number in our decimal ends up being a 0. So let's do this. It's important that we look at the last digit. So 56 we're pretty good at. 56 but the last digit isn't in the tens place, it's in the hundreds. So I would read this, 56 and 5 hundredths, because the last digit is in the hundredths place. All right, let's try this one. How would I read that? Find the place value for the last digit. That's going to help you read it. 93 and 27, but it's in the thousands place. So reading decimals is important, and you will practice reading decimals on your IXL. But to remember that this decimal is when you say and is really important. All right? We'll practice some more. We're going to do some models in our next video. And so if you have any questions, just let me know. Bye, guys.